God of Nations, asking for your blessings and your peace to superintend over this event from now until its end. And all of God's children shall say a big amen. Please be seated. To you, the Vice President of our Republic, a champion of digital transformation in Africa, Your Excellency Dr. Mohamed Baumia. To you, the Chief of Staff of the After Secretariat representing the Secretary General, Mr. Silva Ojako, the UN Resident Coordinator to Ghana, Your Excellency Charles Abani, the High Commissioner of Kenya to Ghana, Your Excellency Elifas Barine, Excellencies, Heads of Missions, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Kwamina Yedu Addison, the CEO of the Ghana Interbank Payments and Settlement Systems, Mr. Archie Hesse, representatives of the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the Board Chair of the Development Bank Ghana, Dr. Yao Ansu, the CEO of the Development Bank Ghana, Mr. K. Duka, the President of the Ghana Association of Banks, Madame Mansanete, the CEO of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Madame Abenamwa, the CEO of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Reverend Ogba Mitete, the Comptroller of the Ghana Immigration Service, Mr. Kwame Isua Techi, the CEO of MTN Mobile Money, Mr. Shaibu Haruna, the CEO of Telecel, Madame Patricia Obonai, heads of industry associations and organizations, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. We make welcome also in our midst Ghana's Minister for Finance, the Honorable Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam MP. To you all, I say good morning. Oh, once again, you've disappointed me. It's from my heart. Good morning. Good morning. We meet here this morning on a very bright note for Africa, one characterized by a plethora of opportunities for this continent in diverse fields, including fintech and digital payments. Today, digital transactions have become the mainstay of everyday life in Africa. As of last year, the half of last year, we had 700 fintech firms operating on the continent, 17% rise from 2021. Yet, given the pace of all this, the pace of launches or new launches have slowly reduced, indicating that the ecosystem is entering a new stage, one of consolidation. This poses one important question. How do we unleash Africa's fintech and digital economic potential? The answer, my dear friends, is in the 3I Africa Summit, a first fintech festival of its kind in Africa to drive innovation, investment, and impact for the fintech and financial services sector. I thought you'd be glad. And so this morning we meet here to launch this all-important summit to find out who the partners are, what it really means for Ghana and the continent, but most especially how it is going to play to the benefit of all the players in the ecosystem. To welcome us warmly is the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, To welcome us is the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, in whose term Ghana has seen tremendous uptake in fintech and digital transformation in his sector. Would you please make welcome Dr. Ernest Yedu Addison.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Honorable Mohamed Amin, the Minister of Finance for Ghana, First and Second Deputy Governors, the Chief Executive Officer of the Development Bank of Ghana, K. Duka, the Board of Directors of the Bank of Ghana, representatives of Elevandi, the CEOs of the bank, CEOs of fintechs, representatives of the Telecom Chamber, representatives of the Ghana Technology Chamber, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and a warm welcome to the launch of the maiden 3I African Summit. I would like to start off by acknowledging and extending my heartfelt gratitude to His Excellency the Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, for gracing us with your presence today. Your attendance here this morning is a testament to your support, which we do not take for granted. Thank you very much. In recent years, ladies and gentlemen, Ghana and the world has witnessed a remarkable shift with the rapid emergence and evolution of financial digitalization and transactions. The actualization of novel technologies in the payments ecosystem has revolutionized business transactions, reshaped customer behavior, and redefined the nature of commerce. Presently, we stand on the precipice of a global digital era, and it could not be more imperative than now that Africa embraces and accelerates the digitalization process in trade and finance to level the playing field globally. We have an advantage in the digitization race as Africans. This is due to the bulging youthful population who are tech savvy, the high mobile phone penetration, the consistent expansion of mobile network access, and more importantly, the rising homegrown fintech solutions. These immense opportunities provide fertile grounds for accelerating digitalization. And while these are commendable, it is important to highlight the potential negative impact of a lack of requisite investments in African fintechs, which could have on innovations and the scalability of solutions to achieve the desired impact. Ladies and gentlemen, to a great degree, the lack of funding can significantly stunt the growth of fintech movement in several ways. Without sufficient capital, brilliant ideas and prototypes of fintech startup solutions with the potential to address the diverse financial service needs have failed to progress to production. Furthermore, a fintech is only as strong as its members, and in that vein, a lack of funding could ultimately impact its ability to attract and retain premium talent. The regulatory aspect is another major reason we cannot ignore the issues of deficient funding in the fintech space. This could hinder fintech companies' ability to navigate regulatory requirements and meet compliance standards, which we all agree are non-negotiables, especially in Ghana's and Africa's financial industry. From the regular engagement with fintech startups as part of the bank's innovation nurturing role, it has emerged that most of these nascent companies generally lack investor visibility. Hence, the need to address the information gap between investors and fintech startups to stimulate the payment ecosystem. This would help unleash the full potential of fintech startups to contribute meaningfully to the economic development of the African continent. Against this background, the upcoming 3I Africa Summit is designed as a platform for governments, businesses, investors, regulators, innovators, and thought leaders to discuss and collaborate on measures to unlock Africa's full potential by harnessing the potential of fintech. The summit, which is premised on innovation, investment, and impact, is being organized by the Bank of Ghana and Development Bank of Ghana in partnership with the Monetary Authority of Singapore through its subsidiary Elevandi, organizers of the globally acclaimed Singapore FinTech Festival. The summit will take place over 3 days from May 13 to May 15 this year in Accra, under the theme From Innovation to Impact, investing in Africa's financial sector to drive Africa's transformation. Among others, the summit will feature a lab crawl, a platform through which diverse participants can benefit from visibility for investment opportunities to both local and international investors and capital providers. The speaker lineup includes 15 keynote speakers of eclectic and influential backgrounds, about 15 central bank governors spanning 5 continents, 3 heads of states, and over 100 global investors, asset managers, tech executives, and many more. The plenary and the breakout sessions will offer participants the opportunity to discourse and learn from over 100 speakers from across the world on current developments influencing Africa's innovation landscape, capital generation, and policy development. These interactions are important to enhance innovators' and regulators' appreciation of each other's perspectives in the spirit of cooperation and collaboration. In addition, the summit will provide the opportunity for professional and career advancements through the integrated online learning channels, which will offer purposely designed programs in partnership with experienced partners like Cambridge Subtech Lab, the University of Ethereum, and our own National Banking College. Furthermore, the various activities planned for the 3i Africa Summit are designed to provide an environment for participants to extend their social and professional network horizon. Most importantly, government will establish an innovation fund to promote the development of the fintech industry. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3i Africa Summit 2024 will be a major catalyst for promotion and innovation in financial service, which is why we encourage the participation of all relevant stakeholders within the ecosystem. We urge all innovators, financial institutions, the media, industry players, investors, startups, technology players, and all other stakeholders to join us make history together with this maiden summit to catapult the fintech revolution in Africa even further. Let me conclude by quoting Mr. Ravi Menon at the 2023 FinTech Festival. Everything we do in fintech must have a larger purpose. Yes, there is money to be made, costs to be cut, opportunities to be seized. But fintech is more importantly about solving real-world problems, about improving people's lives, about promoting a more inclusive society, and lastly, about securing a sustainable planet for the future. To the Development Bank Ghana and Elevandi, I salute you for agreeing to partner Bank of Ghana to put together this historic event, and also for your unwavering dedication to developing a tech-savvy society, promoting financial inclusion to the people of Ghana. Through your efforts, you will continue to empower people, including that grandmother producing shea butter in the northern Ghana and selling in Accra and beyond. Africa's future lies in leveraging digital technologies. To this effect, we firmly believe that the 3i Africa Summit, which we launched today, will steer the financial sector in adopting technology comprehensively to improve the delivery, efficiency, convenience, and inclusivity of financial services in Africa. I thank you all for your attention.
Dr. Ernest Addison is the governor of the Bank of Ghana, whose energetic efforts have culminated in this summit, a great legacy for this great industry of ours. One more time, please. A round of applause. Thank you, sir, for that warm note of welcome, articulating so well the essence of the summit. Since everything we do in fintech must speak to a larger purpose, it's important that we acknowledge Africa's greatest purpose in creating one single market. Speaking into how this ties into that is the Chief of Staff at the After Secretariat, speaking on behalf of the Secretary General. Make welcome Mr. Silva Ojako.
Your Excellency Al-Hajj Mahmoud Baumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, the Honorable Minister of Finance, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Excellencies, the ambassadors, and distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, heads of international organizations, business leaders, CEOs, members of boards and associations, distinguished guests to this press briefing, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Silvo Jacol. I am Chief of Staff at the AFCFTA Secretariat, and on behalf of Secretary General, it is my profound honor to be part of this press launch, heralding an event to mark by adopting advanced technologies and innovative financial solutions. We can bridge the digital divide, improve access to financial services, and foster an environment where entrepreneurs and businesses would thrive. In this new era of African economic development, characterized by strong commitment to promoting trade, investment, and infrastructure development, the AFCFTA Secretariat is delighted to say that we will extend full support to the 3I Africa Summit. This pioneering event under the timely theme, Unleashing Africa's FinTech and Digital Economic Potential, represents a watershed moment in our progress towards a digitally empowered African economy. The summit is undoubtedly in line with the goals of the AFCFTA, which include fostering economic diversification, generating employment opportunities for our people, and promoting inclusive growth across the continent. The summit represents an important step towards the successful implementation of the AFCFTA, with a strong emphasis on key areas such as infrastructure development, fostering innovation, catalyzing investment, and streamlining policy frameworks. You will probably be aware by now that we have 3 protocols. A policy framework of the AFCFTA includes a number of protocols that are meant to enhance our business performance. A protocol on investment, a protocol on digital trade, a protocol on women and youth in trade. Then the other initiatives that have been put in place, including the Pan-African Payments and Settlement System. All these are meant to galvanize our business community to do business is in a way that is not is unorthodox way, but in a way that enhances our business capacity. All these protocols have been adopted by the Assembly, including the protocol now on digital trade and the protocol on women and youth in trade, just adopted about a week ago by the Assembly in Addis Ababa. Investment in digital infrastructure, a key focus of the summit, is vital for facilitating digital trade under the AFCFTA. This entails enhancing broadband connectivity, digital payment system, and e-commerce platforms, and enabling businesses to trade across borders more efficiently and lower costs. Also, by showcasing opportunities and facilitating partnerships, the summit can boost investor confidence, which is crucial for financing projects that are critical for the success of the AFCFTA. The AFCFTA Secretariat would like to commend the organizers, the Bank of Ghana, for their foresight and commitment to Africa's digital transformation. Secretariat, as I have said, is committed to supporting the 3I Africa Summit and encourages stakeholders across the continent and beyond to actively engage in this transformative event. This is a call to action for all who believe in the power of digital transformation to boost economic growth and build a more inclusive and sustainable future for Africa. Together, we can seize the opportunities presented by the digital era to foster a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient African economy. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
We thank you ever so much, Mr. Silva Ojako, Chief of Staff at the AFTA Secretariat, for your statement of support, articulating so well how our objective ties into yours of creating a digitally empowered African single market. Speaking to us now is our Sector Minister. Would you please make welcome Ghana's Minister for Finance, the Honorable Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Governor and Deputy Governors of the Bank of Ghana, the Chief Executive of Development Bank Ghana, and I would like to stand on all other protocols observed. Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to speak at this very important forum. It is with great pleasure that I join you at the launch of the 3I Africa Summit. I'd like to extend my sincere gratitude to the Bank of Ghana, the Development Bank Ghana, and Elivandi for spearheading this monumental event. I recognize the pivotal role that innovative digital solutions play in shaping the trajectory of our country's financial landscape. Ghana, with its rich heritage and potential, stands at the point of a transformative journey towards greater economic prosperity and inclusivity. And it is through platforms like the 3I Africa Summit that we pave the way for this journey to unfold. As we gather here at the local launch of the 3I Africa Summit, we stand at the cusp of a transformative era for Africa's financial sector. The Global FinTech Report 2023 illuminates the path ahead, projecting an extraordinary expansion in Africa's fintech sector, with revenues expected to grow 13-fold by 2030, reaching approximately $65 billion. This unprecedented growth trajectory underscores the potential and the pressing need for strategic dialogues and actions that can propel the entire continent towards this $65 billion milestone. The question that then arises is, how do we harness this potential? And what conversations must we prioritize to navigate the journey ahead effectively? Within that context, the 3I Africa Summit emerges as a pivotal platform to address the critical opportunities and challenges at the confluence of policy, finance, and technology. For us policymakers, our ambition is to ensure we can actively shape the pace of digital transformation, while ensuring that inclusion and sustainability form the core of our policy agenda. Consequently, across government, we are committed to deploying innovative solutions that can drive financial inclusion, bolster economic resilience, and unlock new avenues for growth. However, ladies and gentlemen, achieving such a feat requires a concerted effort across multiple domains, and it demands a synergistic approach involving partnerships with the private sector, civil society, and the international community. At the heart of the 3I Africa Summit is a commitment to driving these essential dialogues and partnerships centered on delivering sustainable long-term capital allocation that can transform Ghana and Africa's economic landscape. Our country, Ghana, is at a critical point in our development trajectory, and we need partnerships that support a growth framework that can meet our country's and the continent's ambitions for decades. As we look towards 2030, we must be guided by a vision of an Africa where fintech flourishes and serves as a cornerstone for inclusive and sustainable economic development, with Ghana positioned as the plug-and-play destination on the continent. Around that objective, I genuinely hope this summit will catalyze the strategic partnerships, innovative solutions, and policy frameworks critical to realizing this vision. As you are already aware, developments on the global economy, as well as our own fiscal consolidation program, have pushed our economy to one associated with lower economic growth. However, our growth strategies often tend to rely on FDIs, which I must admit are difficult to attract under our current circumstances. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I am committed to implement programs that generate growth from within, with a focus on the growth of small businesses, which in most countries generate almost 90% of economic growth and jobs. SME financing will therefore receive greater attention going forward. I am happy to note that the Bank of Ghana, Development Bank Ghana, and the University of Ghana Business School last week signed an MOU for research to determine the current and emerging challenges of SME financing in Ghana. And I'm confident that the outcome of this research will help us in developing a roadmap to reposition SMEs at the forefront of accelerating economic growth and development. I intend to soon convene a national conference of stakeholders in SME financing, particularly the banks, savings institutions, fintech groups, academia, and representatives of small businesses to chart a sustainable financing path for SMEs in Ghana. In this light, I encourage the 3i Africa Summit to reflect on the role of fintechs and digitalization in developing financial products that help maximize the potential of SMEs. I wish at this point to extend my wholehearted support to the 3i Africa Summit and encourage continued collaboration and partnership towards its success. Together, ladies and gentlemen, let us embark on this journey of innovation, impact, and investment, charting a course towards a brighter and more prosperous future for Ghana and the rest of Africa. And I thank you very much for your attention.
We're grateful to you, the Minister for Finance, the Honorable Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, for those warm words of encouragement. And certainly he had to mention the $65 million. He's the Minister for Finance. There is a sound that reverberates whenever we hear good news like this in Ghana. It's in music and in dance. Please welcome the Ghana Dance Ensemble. Beautiful display of art and culture, the Ghana Dance Ensemble. Today, we unleash Africa's fintech and digital economic potential through this maiden 3i Africa Summit. It is the first fintech festival of its kind in Africa to drive innovation, investment, and impact for Africa's fintech and financial services sector. We do this because of one sole reason, because it is possible. I give to you the Vice President of our Republic, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, as he gives us the keynotes and launches the summit.
Thank you very much. Please sit down. The Minister for Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, First Deputy Governor, Dr. Maxwell Bokwafari, Second Deputy Governor, this is LC Awazi Ado, the Chief Executive Officer of the Development Bank of Ghana, AGDUCA, Board of Directors of the Bank of Ghana, representatives of the Bank of Ghana and Development Bank of Ghana, representatives of Elevandi, Chief Executive Officers of banks, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to grace the launch of this inaugural 3i Africa Summit 2024. I thank the Bank of Ghana and the Development Bank of Ghana, the organizers of this event, for their invitation. Indeed, this event underscores the important role the Bank of Ghana and the Development Bank of Ghana are playing towards the realization of the broader national digitalization agenda. So let me applaud the Bank of Ghana for putting up this ultra-modern office infrastructure for the Ghana Interbank Payments and Settlement Service Systems, GAPS. It is really beautiful. As we all know, payment systems implemented and managed by GIPS include the Ghana Instant Payment, GIP, GIPS Instant Payment, Mobile Money Interoperability, and the Ghana Automated Clearinghouse Systems. These have revolutionized the payments ecosystem and positioned the country on the path of sustained financial inclusiveness. I am reliably informed that this edifice is equipped with cutting-edge technology that incorporates accessibility, safety, and functionality for both staff and customers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gathered here today for the launch of the 3i Africa Summit 2024, an event which seeks to gather governments, businesses, investors, academia, and thought leaders to discuss and collaborate on the unlocking of Africa's full potential with a primary focus on fintech and the digital economy. Collectively, our presence here also underscores our belief in the power of technology to enhance productivity and connectivity to empower individuals through fintech startups, as well as small and medium-scale enterprises that increase innovation with potential to improve efficiency in the operations of institutions and businesses. It is against this background that the government of Ghana has, over the past 7 years or so, focused on pursuing a digital transformation agenda as part of its economic strategy at the individual and institutional levels, including all sectors. The objective of this digital transformation agenda is to ensure digital empowerment for a prosperous future in this digital era, where the use of modern and emerging technologies have become commonplace and a catalyst for growth, progress, and prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, it is really no news that the government under the leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has paid special attention to digitalization. This has been actively supported by various government institutions and regulators as part of the broader Ghana digitalization agenda to advance digital transformation. Distinguished guests, it is no coincidence that this upcoming summit has been dubbed 3I Africa Summit. That's innovation, investment, and impact. This has been the backdrop of our digitalization journey to harness the full potential of technology. As we get ready to launch this summit, let me provide a few remarks on the strong foundations that we have laid in terms of investment in digitalization and its associated innovations, as well as the impact these innovations are having on the lives of individuals, businesses, and various sectors of the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Ghana has invested immensely to overcome some challenges that confronted the digitalization agenda by leveraging technological innovations to leapfrog the development process, overcome legacy problems, and improve both economic and public sectors. For instance, to address the issue of unique identification for citizens and residents, the government issued the National Biometric ID cards, popularly known as the Ghana card, to provide a unique and centralized identification system for all Ghanaians. The acceptance of the Ghana card as the sole identification document for financial transactions in the country would in the long run help the reduction of non-performing loans and mobile money fraud. The government also leveraged the GPS technology to implement the digital address system, which resulted in a unique address for all properties in Ghana. Also, the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority provided street names and house numbers for every street in Ghana for easy identification and navigation. Furthermore, to promote financial inclusion and reduce the dominance of cash for payments, the Mobile Money Payments Interoperability System was instituted, thanks to the Bank of Ghana and GIBS for championing this cause. This has led to the seamless transfer of money across different mobile money networks and from mobile money wallets to banks and vice versa. Mobile money transactions have increased multiple-fold from 78.5 billion Ghana cedis in 2016 to 1.9 trillion Ghana cedis by 2023. Also, the Bank of Ghana's advancement and piloted both online and offline use cases of the e-cedi in 2022 and December last year, invited applicants to participate in its first ever e-cedi hackathon, which was designed to foster innovation, drive technological advancement, and develop solutions that will redefine the Ghanaian financial landscape. All of these developments have contributed in ensuring that Ghana is now ranked #1 in Africa in terms of access to financial inclusion. What is clear is that the digital revolution that we are witnessing across the world and what we are seeing in Africa in particular that you cannot really have this revolution without a revolution in fintech. The path to the digital revolution is through fintech. And that is why we want to see the advancement of fintech. Africa's path is going to be different from many other countries. And that is why it's very important that whilst we want to learn from other countries, we should learn more from each other. Because our path is going to be different. Because we don't have the type of legacy systems that the advanced countries have. And we can therefore leapfrog many advanced countries once we set our minds to it. I'm very, very encouraged with what we are seeing in terms of the African Continental Free Trade Area and the PAP system that is coming up to encourage payments. The president talked recently about interoperability across the continent, and we have to be doing things that have not been done in many other places. So I am very, very excited about the fintech, the payment of attention to fintech that we are doing, because it is the key to the leapfrogging and to the digital revolution in Africa. Because whatever we do, whatever services we are trying to provide, ultimately we have to pay for them. Ultimately, whether it's in the hospital, whether it's in the passport office, whether it's at the port, you have to end up paying, right? So the payments ecosystem must support the digital revolution. Without it, the digital revolution will be stuck. And this is why this 3I Summit, Africa Summit, is so, so important, that we bring all the stakeholders and all the players together so that we can brainstorm and think through how we leapfrog and we transition Africa into the digital revolution. Indeed, the investment and innovation undertaken by government and its concomitant positive impact on the lives of the citizenry, as well as the efficiency in operations of various relevant institutions, cannot be overemphasized. This therefore denotes the fact that digital transformation is an inevitable necessity, an appropriate system, a flexible response to emergencies, challenges, and needs, and a means used to achieve economic and social development. I would like to reiterate the government's statement earlier that government will be setting up a fintech innovation fund to support startups and other fintechs, because what is clear in this whole journey towards digitalization, what for me has been so amazing is that most of the digitalization that we are seeing is homegrown. This is driven by local fintechs and local IT firms. So the know-how is here. The innovation is here. Usually they lack the capital to take these innovations to make the sort of impact. So they need the investment. You know, I remember when we were trying to find the digital property address system. We had some major global firms come to make presentations. And then there was this small firm that was knocking on the door. And we were like, okay, who are they? We've not heard of the name before. Well, let's give them a chance. So we asked them to come and make a presentation. And where are they from? They were from Dansuman. Dansuman. They were competing against all these firms from the UK and all of these places. So, well, we gave them a chance. Now they made the presentation and they blew everybody out of the water. I mean, just completely blew everybody. And we said, look, this is really what we need. So we give people the chance, you give them the opportunity, they will really fully transform. And so we are very, very supportive we are going to be supportive of all the startups and stakeholders with this FinTech Innovation Fund. We must join hands and cooperate to achieve this through awareness, infrastructural development, capacity building, improvement of legislative and conducive regulatory environment, and investment in local capacities. I therefore urge all stakeholders to come on board to support and participate in the upcoming 3i Africa Summit to make it a memorable one while achieving its full benefits. Thank you again, Bank of Ghana. Thank you, Development Bank of Ghana. And thank you all for your attention. God bless you.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of our Republic, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Bawumia, please. And now, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for the next few minutes, please lend your attention to the screens as we show to you the bold icon of the 3i Summit. Inclusion and digital revolution being anchored in fintech. And thank you for government's bold determination in setting up the FinTech Innovation Fund. I believe this deserves a resounding round of applause. It is timely and very critical. Particularly grateful for that intervention is an organization that has for 3 years acted as an enabler for businesses in Ghana and as a long-term capital provider in the market. They ensure sustainable global best practices are applied across all their operations. I'm talking about the Development Bank, one of the partners of this 3i Summit. Make welcome the CEO for his concluding remarks, Mr. K. Duka.
Thank you. His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Honorable Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, Minister for Finance. Thank you, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. Thank you, Deputy Governors, for all the support that you have given, all of the protocols observed. Thank you. And as we come to the conclusion of this exciting launch, I think the only question that I would like to spend a few minutes touching on is why is this 3i event different? And we come back from the core mandate of a development bank. And for a development bank, we always walk the tightrope between financial sustainability and impact. Impact costs money, and we must be profitable to be able to pay for developmental impact. What is also increasingly clear is that modern institutions, both public and private, all come together, whether it's World Bank or MTN, they come together and are increasingly aligned to that same mandate. And as Dr. Addison said, companies and governments, policymakers want to be financially sustainable and at the same time support their communities, solving problems and bringing development impact, making the world a better place. And the 3i Summit is simply saying that we are all aligned. Together, we are building and bringing together the biggest global gathering of like-minded individuals who lead policy, developmental agendas, public and private institutions. Our objective, as Dr. Addison said, is to create platforms for investors and entrepreneurs to network, to initiate deals, to make profits, and then create conversations to influence policy and developmental impact. We are bringing together institutions that are committed to financial sustainability, financial resilience, and profitability. We are bringing to 3Africa regulators and development partners who are hungry to be part of the largest forum and the best vehicle to prosecute their impact agenda. So this forum is the first to show that the overlap between profit and purpose is huge. It is possible, and it's happening in Africa and being showcased in Ghana. This is the event where capital meets policy, and that is why 3I Africa is different. 3I Africa is also not just about profitability and creating wealth. It's not only about purpose, policy, and developmental impact. It's also about people. With all the technology, the products, ideas, and opportunities at our disposal, we still need people to execute and make things happen. That, again, is the 3I difference. The vision of our leaders, His Excellency, the Vice President, the guidance of our two central banks, Singapore Monetary Authority, represented by Elevandi here, but the great vision of our own central bank governor, Dr. Addison, and his deputy, Dr. Maxwell, in putting together and being the inspiration for this event. Their record on innovation and digital transformation is evidence of people who get things done. The inspiration of the Secretary General Mene, with his call to liberate data, and the prescient leadership, again, of the President and the Vice President, in bringing together, and all of us together, to align to support digital transformation. Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin, who helped create the enabling environment for all this to happen. It was not by accident that made Ghana #1 in financial inclusion in Africa. These men and women get things done, and that again is the difference. Let's win together. God bless. Thank you.
A resounding acknowledgement for all the partners that have contributed to these great feats. Please, a round of applause. And thank you very much, Mr. Keduka, for standing tall with your organization by aligning all of us, not only to purpose, but also to profit as well as people. It means a lot. It is my pleasure to acknowledge our very strategic partners, the Managing Director of CBG, Mr. Daniel Ado. Thank you very much for joining us. We're joined by the Country Manager for the AFDB, Madame Eyusalem Fasika. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. You've already met His Excellency Charles Abani, the Resident Coordinator of the United Nations to Ghana. Please, one more time. The Director General of the Security and Exchange Commission, Reverend Ugbami Tete. Thank you. Last but certainly not the least, the CEO of MTN Mobile Money, Mr. Shaibu Haruna. Please. At the end of the event, I ask that you just lend us some moments, a few more moments for interviews at the backdrop. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of this very short presser. I ask that we all wait behind. I shall be calling the official party and other groups and individuals in turn for photographs. While they are that, there's another door here where the ushers will be guiding all of us for refreshments. We shall now rise and invoke the blessing of God Almighty on this summit and on our homeland, Ghana. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Cheers to innovation, investment, and impact. 3i Africa. Oh, I thought you would say after me. Innovation, investment, impact. 3i Africa Summit. Come May 2024, Accra will host the world, and we will make it grand. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Humbly, I invite the official party comprising the Vice President, the Minister for Finance, the Governor and his deputies, the CEO of the Development Bank, together with the Board Chair of the Development Bank, the CEO of the Ghana Stock Exchange, and the Chief of Staff after. Respectfully, I invite you outside for your first photo.